Christmas Eve, everybody, from NoDQ.com and, of course, Talk Wrestling. No, it's not Jeff Meacham. It's your old buddy Santa Claus here. I've come down specifically today from the North Pole to remind you, go to bed early tonight. I'll be there soon. But Jeff has asked me to come down specifically from the North Pole today to give my picks, not Jeff's picks, but my picks on the top 5 Christmas moments in wrestling. They all happen to be WWE, but they all involve Santa, or who you thought was Santa. No particular order except for the last one. I remember my despicable evil brother, Santa Claus, that was brought in by Ted DiBiase. He sold out to Ted DiBiase's money. The naughty boy, Santa. Xanta. Look him up on YouTube. I heard he went on to some career swinging chairs later in another company. I don't know about that for sure. Another one that I remember distinctly was those two just foul-mouthed people, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, who I've heard have reformed since then. But I've noticed them being somewhat good, especially Shawn Michaels. He's been a very good boy the last 8 years. That Triple H, though. Anyway, they came out on Raw one night in 1997 wearing robes, and the next thing we knew, their asses were hanging out. Oh, sorry. Their buttocks were hanging out all over national television with the words "Merry and less on them." And China with the X in the middle on her butt and a little mistletoe over there. That's just terrible. Santa was embarrassed on that day. Another one that I distinctly remember is the 1992 Survivor Series. That was a good one, actually. It wasn't me, although people think it was me, but a very distinct Santa lookalike came down and celebrated with Bret the Hitman Hart after he defended the title against that degenerate Shawn Michaels at the 1992 Survivor Series. And that Santa, with little help from yours truly, of course, made it snow in the arena. I thought that was just very festive, and I felt it was the right thing to do on Thanksgiving Eve or whatever day it was that year, 1992. Another one that stands out to dear old Saint Nick here is, unfortunately, one that ended up rather tragic for the Santa impersonator. Also in 1997, it may have been the same Raw that DX did their little shenanigans, for lack of a better term. This Santa impersonator had come out and was being very naughty to a little child, and Stone Cold Steve Austin decided to come out and read him the riot act. And when he discovered that the Santa was not me, he got a Stone Cold Stunner. Bravo to Stone Cold. Good job, Steve. And speaking of Steve Austin, the number one on my list, the all-time favorite Christmas moment for me regarding professional wrestling, has to be the tribute to the troops in 2003. Not only was it a tremendous effort by WWE to show the people overseas that we still care back here and the rest of the world, despite what people think, America cares, and I love America for that. America's my favorite country, which is why you guys get all the good presents. But at the end, Vince McMahon came out, and someone who looked a lot like me came out and gave Vince McMahon a Stone Cold Stunner. It came full circle. Stone Cold stunned Santa, then he dressed as Santa and stunned. It was just a glorious unification of harmony, if you will, in the holiday season for WWE. That's all the time Santa has for today. He has to make his long trip back to the North Pole. The reindeer are on the roof waiting for me. But before I go, I've decided to honor Jeff's request as he left town today. Jeff has asked me to bring in a very special guest that he's brought on the show the last few weeks. And while this individual has not been the nicest of individuals to Jeff, we'll go ahead and bring him on and see what his favorite Christmas memories are. Edge Bear, what do you think of Christmas?
Well, I don't have any favorite Christmas moments because I do not like Christmas. And even more importantly, I do not like you. But I do have an announcement to make.
Make your announcement.
No DQ will be having a 2011 wrestling prediction show from Las Vegas, baby.
Wow, great.
You know, where HD will actually be useful for once. And guess what? Jeff Meacham will not be there.
This is true. Jeff has informed me of this announcement, and he's decided to go against the debauchery that only you, I'm sure, will cause in Las Vegas.
Well, you know the real reason why he won't be there? That fat WWE mark has a vendetta against TNA, and he cannot afford Vegas. In fact, if Jeff was here right now, I would punch him right in his fat neck.
Okay, enough. You know, I was just going to let it go at that and just be on my way to the North Pole, but, you know, Jeff asked me to make sure that you got your Christmas gift. Even though you don't believe in Christmas, even though you don't like me or like Christmas, I think everybody deserves a Christmas gift out there. So, if you take a look right out there in the street, it's right out there for you, okay?
Okay, I don't see any present out here. Where is it?
Happy holidays from NoDQ.com, everybody. We'll see you in 2011.